That's got a chance. Got it over the quarry. A couple of cups maybe or more. Classic Marian. Looks easy, but it's not.
John Sabino has spent the past 5 to 6 years living out of the trunk of his car. But let's not kid ourselves here. When you're toting around clubs to play the most prestigious golf courses in the world, it's more of a life of luxury.
I work in the financial industry, so it's really it's a personal quest. I've just made a lot of contacts with golf over the years. So I like to travel. I've always liked to travel, so it's kind of combining my passion of travel and golf.
The quest John is currently on is a crusade, an elite privileged group referred to as golf's holy grail, playing the top 100 courses in the world, a list published annually by Golf Magazine.
It kind of happened by accident. I had been going over to Scotland and Ireland for years playing golf as part of a group trip. And then one day somebody gave me a board which has these little gold pegs that you put in it. That is the top 100 courses in the world. And I think once I got that, I really got serious about it. My kind of putt.
And John continues to peg along. He's hit courses on 5 different continents. And he's so close to completing the golfing grail, he can almost taste it with just 5 to go.
More people have been to the moon than have played the top 100. Less than 20 people have played the top 100 in the world. And I know several of them, and we try to help each other out where we can.
If you want to play the top 100 courses in the world, there's really 2 requirements involved. You have to be well financed, and more importantly, you have to be well connected. More than half of the places on that list, like Marian, are private country clubs, which requires an invitation from a member guest just to play.
That's one of my secrets. So to gain access to the private courses is definitely one of the hardest parts of doing what I'm doing. So essentially you have to find a member. So in some instances I knew members, in some instances I knew somebody that knew a member. Most members are very polite and they want to show off their courses, and if you ask them and are respectful and follow the rules, they're happy to host you.
So if permission is definitely a priority, how is he able to swing it at home with a wife and 2 kids?
I have a fabulous wife, and people often ask me, how does she let you do this? And she's just a great lady. I think partly she's happy to get me out of the house. So yeah, she's been very supportive to let me do this. Hope we got that one. No need to do anything else.
We caught up with John at Marian Golf Club in Ardmore, one of 2 Philadelphia area courses in the top 100, with Pine Valley as the other. Marian will be back on the PGA's roadmap when it hosts the U.S. Open in 2013.
Marian is unquestionably one of the best golf courses in the world. I've finished 95 of the top 100 now, and I would put Marian in my top 5 personal courses. Marian has pretty much everything that you look for in a top-ranked course. So it was designed in the 1920s, so it's not overly long, but it's a very strategic golf course, I would call it. So what makes Marian really interesting is on pretty much every single shot, you have to hit to a certain target.
And if Marian is the beautiful, then Japan has to border on the bizarre. From the caddy to the tram that carries your clubs, to the tea house that serves up a little more than just tea.
In Japan, it's not so much you play a round of golf. There's a whole ritual around it. It's a whole day of golf. You show up, you meet the member, you have coffee, you play only 9 holes, then you have to stop for lunch. You have to have a couple of beers, and you sit in the clubhouse for probably 2 hours. And then at the end of the round, you have to take a bath. It's a very formalized process where you go into this public bath and take a bath with all the rest of the golfers there. So very unique experience playing in Japan.
Can you opt out of the bath?
You cannot. So
you have to take the bath.
You have to take the bath, and otherwise Japan is a very ritualized society, and it's an insult to your host if you don't do that. So the first time we did it, we were a little put off by it, but believe it or not, by the end of the trip, we really liked it. It's actually a very nice, relaxing ritual.
So with 95 down and 5 more remaining, you might think John Sabino will complete the trek sometime next summer. That's if he's lucky. The one country club left on his list just happens to be the granddaddy of them all, Augusta National, where if you don't have an in with one of their roughly 300 members, you could be completely out of luck.
One of the people that's finished playing the top 100 took him 20 years to get onto Augusta. The problem with Augusta for a mortal person is you're not allowed to ask a member. So you have to be invited to play Augusta. So I have several ways that I'm trying to get on, but I want to obey the rules and be respectful. So more than likely that will be the last course I play.
Needless to say, when he's done, it will be a bucket list unlike any other.
Birdie, thank you. Thank you.
For Net Impact, I'm John Boyd.
I'm done.